Just so we can be clear, we shall wire a 13 amp mains plug onto a cable. We call this a 13 amp main plug because the maximum current consumption is 13 amps. So this is suitable for any appliance that is 13 amps or less. To complete this task, we shall need a hobby knife or wire cutters and a basic tool kit. The two screwdriver bits we shall be using is a posi drive and a flat bit. To open the mains plug, which is normally held together with one fixing screw, we shall be using the flat bit. Next, we need to loosen the cable grip. By completely removing one of the screws and slackening off the other using the posi drive, remove the cable grip to one side as shown. The outer insulation will need removing so we can get some idea on how much by measuring the longest wire, which is the earth wire. This will become clearer. Use a hobby knife to lightly cut around the outer insulation. Now bend the outer cable and this should break. Continue to do this all around until you can pull away the outer insulation. This should have exposed 3 internal wires. Next we need to trim these down. Move each one over the respective terminal, then add about 5mm, cut to size using side cutters. If we place this in position now, we should find that each wire reaches the respective terminal plus 5mm. Each of these wires will need stripping back to expose about 10mm of bare wire. Once again, use the wire cutters, rotate the wire while nipping the insulation of the wire. Careful not to put too much pressure on, as this will cut straight through the wire. Do the same to the other 2 wires. Twist the ends of each wire. Now fold each one over so each one will now be about 5mm in length. Each of these can now be inserted into the respective terminal. In most cases, it's best to pull the terminal out, as shown here. Temporarily screw them into the terminals. Once in, then nip them up to ensure a good connection. Replace the terminals back into the plug. Route the wires in the plug. Place the cable grip screws and tighten them both. Make final checks that the wires are routed in the correct way. Some mains cables have an extra piece of plastic that the cable is wedged into, as shown here, instead of the conventional cable grip. Finally, replace the top of the plug.